Welcome and hello. This is a video tutorial on HEC Vortex. And in this lesson, I'm going to talk about downloading the program as well as running a few of the utilities within that program. In this video, specifically, I'm going to be demonstrating the calculator, clipper, and grid to point converter tools within HEC Vortex. HEC Vortex is a collection of lightweight data processing utilities targeted for HEC applications. Now, if you've used gridded data before in any HEC applications like HEC HMS, you've probably already encountered certain problems or limitations with regarding to importing different types of gridded data into programs. I'm going to open up HEC HMS real quick just to demonstrate. If you go up to File, Import, and then Gridded Data Importer, what you're actually seeing here is a utility from HEC Vortex with a little cyclone logo in the top. This is the Importer Wizard, which is a combination of a few different tools. So HEC Vortex is not itself a downloadable software on the HEC website, like you'll see for DSS View, HMS, ResSim, or whatever. It may be someday. At the time of this recording, it's more of a Swiss Army knife that's used to help manipulate data and specifically gridded data sets for HMS and other HEC programs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to this article here. This is where I found out about it, and it gives a good introduction to the topic. Go ahead and click this link. I can leave this link as well. It's going to open up a GitHub page, and to download the program, just click on this .zip file. It will start your download. Also, on further down in this article, it gives a description of some of the different tools and what they do. Okay, it finished downloading. After unzipping the downloaded files, I'm putting them into a HEC Vortex files directory on my computer. You can put them wherever you want. This is not an installer, but rather if you click on bin, you see the actual executable files listed here. So I'm going to just go ahead and go through the first three in this video to keep it kind of short. And then in a later video, I'll describe a few of the others. The first tool I want to talk about is calculator. And a calculator is used to add, subtract, multiply, and divide either a constant or a raster to your gridded data set. So I'm going to just go ahead and click on calculator. It opens up for me. If it doesn't open up automatically, you may be getting a Windows warning that says, are you sure you want to run it? Run it as administrator. You may just see a button that says don't run and then a link that says more info. You got to click on that more info link and then tell the computer explicitly, yes, I'm sure I want to run it. Windows and perhaps other operating systems may do this as a security standard. All right, so first thing is to select the source file. Before I do that, I'm going to actually show you the source file in DSS View that I'm going to be using. This is a gridded data set showing precipitation. It's a rather small file, and here we have the image of it. So we have the different values shown here. It is 9 columns and 17 rows, and you can read the rest of the metadata here if you'd like. And what I'm seeing here is if I cover, I see 4.9 is the number of millimeters that it rained on the first hour in this top left corner. And then we'll just select a different cell over here. It is 2.34 in the top right cell. So let's go ahead and just do a simple calculation to demonstrate the calculator tool and add 5 millimeters to the entire map. But we'll go ahead and just check these two. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that, head over to the calculator tool. I already have it open. Here it is. And then I'll select that record. So I have it saved on my desktop just for convenience. I called it original in part F of the file path. So I'm going to go ahead and add that, click next, and then, oops, this is Clipper. I got the wrong tool up. Okay, calculator is what I want to use. Okay, I had a few different tools open. Let me go ahead and select that data set. Okay, so now it's asking, do I want to add, multiply, divide, or subtract by a constant or a raster? I'm going to keep it simple, just go with a constant, click next. Now it's asking me how much I want to add or subtract or whatever by. So like I said, I'm just going to add 5. You got to keep in mind what your units are. In this case, it's millimeters. So 5 and then next. Now it's asking me to specify a destination. So click this file. It's going to create a new DSS file altogether. So that's fine. I can always just move the data set to where I want it to go. I'm just going to call this add.dss. It's going to go onto my desktop for now. That's fine. And then I'm going to say part F is add 5. Next. Okay, so that's complete. You saw it pop up. Here's the DSS file. Now let's go ahead and open up that DSS file and see what it looks like. Add5.dss. Here's my record. I'm going to actually move it over to the main file so I keep all my files together. Okay, let's close that and then refresh. All right, we have the original. Now we have add5. Let's go ahead and check out some of those numbers. So now if I hover over the top left corner, it says 9.9, which is 5 more than 4.9. And then over in the top right corner, 7.34. Okay. So the metadata is also updated. Of course, the values have increased, but the coordinates have not. All right, so that was the calculator tool. Let's go ahead and check out the Clipper tool. So I click on Clipper. Again, you may have to confirm that you really want to open up that executable. And then let's navigate to our original data here. Select that record. Next, the clipping data source is a shape file. So for instance, if you had a large area and you only want to use a small area, the Clipper tool does that. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate to a shape file. But before I do, I want to just show you what that shape file is. Here's the Python code to generate that file. And I'm just specifying the outer bounding rectangle, the vertices, to create a cropped mask shapefile.shp. So if you run something like this, you may need to install GeoPandas, but Python's not the only tool to do this. You can obviously use QGIS and some other related tools. Okay, I have already moved the shapefile onto my desktop into this Clipper directory for convenience sake. Here is the shapefile that I'm going to use as my mask, and then click next. Now, again, it's asking for a destination, so I'm going to go ahead and set that. I'll just call it clipped. Now, what I'm doing is I'm maintaining the same 9 columns, but I'm chopping off the first 3 rows and the bottom 3 rows. So I'm going to call it clipped 9 by 11 instead of 9 by 17. Okay, and then I'll also name part F clipped and click next. And then it's saved. I think I saved it into my Clipper directory here. Yep, meant to put it on the desktop, but it's there now. Okay, let's go ahead and open that up. So open that DSS file called clipped, and here it is. Here's my one record. So I'm going to go ahead and move that as well. Edit, copy to the original DSS file. Okay, I can close that, and then let's refresh. And here is the clipped record. Let's open that up. And if we take a look at the metadata, or we can just tell by inspection that it's 9 by 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So that's how the Clipper tool works. All right, the last tool I want to demonstrate in this video is the grid to point. So grid to point converter is basically a way to take a number of points and then group them up and then perform certain statistical calculations. So go ahead and open up that utility tool, select our original record set as we have in the past. There it is. Next. Now it's looking for a zones shapefile, and this is a shapefile that identifies certain zones, and then I would specify the field. On the screen here is how I created a basins.shp file. So I just defined 2 zones as basin 1 and basin 2 with the outer bounding rectangles. And I'm just calling it basin ID as my field to select and also keeping with the Albers projection. So that file was created. I'm going to go ahead and navigate to it. It is on my desktop. I put it in grid to point, basinzones.shp, and then yeah, basin ID was the only field, so that was auto-populated. I'll click next. Now I can select the different statistical parameters, and I'll just go with average, min, and max, and then click next. And again, I need to specify a file, so I'll call this basins. We'll put it on the desktop, and okay. Okay, so that's been created. Let's one last time go ahead and open that up and take a look at the data. So I'm going to open up DSS view. Let's go open basins, and then here is the data. So we have the mean, max, and min. Let's go ahead and take a look at that data. It's not a map here, but it is table data. So the first three columns are basin one, where we have the mean, the max, and the min. And then column two is for basin two, and that shows the mean, the max, and the min. All right, well, that was it for this video. We talked about downloading the HEC Vortex and taking a look at how we can use the calculator tool, clipper tool, and grid to point converter with one very simple gridded data set.